What's up, guys? Welcome to the after show of Startup episodes 9 and 10, the season finale. Stick with us. We're going to break it down for you.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Chaos is 4 for 4 of the season.
Say what?
Yes.
He has not missed. He's not missed with their music selection.
Hey.
Christine went 1 for 1, too.
I did.
I think we did very good. What's up, guys? Welcome to the after show of Startup episodes 9 and 10, which is the season finale. I am Josh Rodriguez. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. No Courtney today, so we'll go straight to Christine.
What's up, guys? You know me. It's Christine. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
And you know I couldn't make it that easy for you. You can find me on Twitter, ChaosJ, KAAOSJ, and you can find me on Instagram, Chaos_Oceans31. Oceans, why? 'Cause your boy's so wavy.
Slash.
Smooth like gravy.
Oh, freestyle on the track. Oh,
This song inspires me.
right?
It just makes you want to do so much.
Yeah.
Like when I hear this song, I need a montage of me working out. Like I need a montage of me like training in the gym, like doing martial arts and boxing.
Yes.
Like I need a montage of me like cleaning my weapons and loading them up.
Wait, you have weapons?
And like flashing back. I don't, but I'm gonna get some now. And flashing back at like all the people that hurt my family members and hurt my feelings. At the park, at the playground.
This is real Miami right now.
Payback, son.
You're taking it back to the 5th grade.
I'm
man.
taking it all the way back.
Let's go.
Like I got a list.
Let's go.
And it's long.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right.
I love the song.
Oh.
Hey.
All right, guys. All right. Let's get into it. Episode 9. Episode 9. It started off. I don't even.
Hostile Takeover.
Yes, Hostile Takeover, which we will see later. The reason for the name. I don't know. I guess maybe we can skip the opening scene. Rask goes back to the roof, looks over Miami. I don't know if that was symbolic in any sort of way. Did anybody take anything from that? Yes, no. If not, we can move on.
No, not really. Well, hold on, time out. Cause I'm gonna go ahead and admit this on the air.
Okay.
I fell asleep. So
Wait, in the very beginning?
In the very beginning, bro, because what I did was I went back and I did episode 8 to lead me into 9.
Got you.
And then I kind of dozed off when that transition happened. So I missed that part. And then I just saw it. And what I thought was, did he go up there because he was flashing back, or he was it made him think of Maddie?
Yes.
When he took Maddie up there. Yeah. And that's what I got from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
I got a bit of that and maybe like one last look.
Right.
Yeah, right. Because
like before
he's trying to
Nice.
peace out. He's trying to get ghosts.
Hey.
Nice.
Let's just fist bump. Let's just embrace and just because it's going to be a minute before we see each other again.
Yep.
I know.
So then after all that, they cut to a scene where Ronald is basically, I guess he sees JJ in the tub to make sure that he's dead, goes home to Tam, and I found this interesting. I don't know if you guys got the same thing, so I want to know if you did. It seemed like when he was trying to convince Tam about GenCoin this time, she was just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
It seemed like more of a delayed reaction because I felt the same watching it. I'm like, is she actually down? Like, she doesn't really seem enthused. And then more towards the end of that scene, they kind of cut and she has this like little smile, like, yeah, my baby's doing that.
True.
After he gave that whole speech about, wanting to like do this for the hood and show people like that Haitians did this. So maybe he drove the point home there, but in general, she did look a little disinterested.
Yeah, I thought it was going to come back around later in the episode and maybe in the finale, but it didn't. What were your thoughts? Do you remember that? Or were you still sleeping?
I was still sleeping, but I caught that again too. Because, hey, I went back. Rewind.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was one of those things that, like, she's still kind of numb and maybe even in a fog from all the recent stuff that just happened.
Yeah.
So then for him to bring it up was like, oh wait, that's still happening?
Yeah.
She did breathe a sigh of relief though.
Even after JJ was killed, I think it surprised her because now she's probably thinking, we own this neighborhood now. Why would we even...
Yeah. I mean, you got
that's
everybody standing outside your crib yelling your name, and they put their guns down like, yo, we come in peace. It's all you now.
Right.
Yeah, you good.
All right.
You the queen.
All right, now the meat of the episode.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Izzy
let's
comes into the
slice
GenCoin
it up.
offices, and Alex is there with a couple people that she doesn't recognize and realizes this is a meeting. And in the meeting, they give her a contract, basically a deal you can't refuse type of thing. And this deal excludes Ronald and Nick from being a part of GenCoin. I felt bad for Izzy. You know, she was crying while she was signing it. You can tell she really didn't want to do it, but at the same time, you know, this is her baby. This is what she worked so hard on, and she's not going to just give it up because of these two people who just came into her life.
But, right, and I get that, but then, and this is where she lost sight of, is like those two people helped her to get that stuff going.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't sit there and they didn't make the code. Yeah, they didn't have the time on the books that she had with the years, you know, and everything that she did to get it to that point where they could step in and contribute, but they were a vital part. And I'm not going to jump ahead because I know that you're about to segue into that, but they were a vital part. So I felt like I was kind of mad at her, but I did understand, but I kind of felt like she needed to make more of a fuss. But I felt like she took some of her leverage away with the fact that she didn't do her due diligence and read all of the paperwork ahead of time.
For real.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to find out where those loopholes are, because there's probably a lot of stuff that didn't get, you know, that wasn't mentioned but was in that fine print.
Yeah.
And I felt like maybe that's part of the reason why she wasn't able to really fight as much as she wanted to with keeping those guys on.
But she was crying. I think
She was, but
I think
tears
she just felt,
ain't cutting it.
And she asked, you know, can I have a day or two to think about this? And they pretty much pressured her. They're like, no.
Yeah, no,
You got to
no.
sign now. What would you have done, Christine?
Honestly, if I were
Either
me,
burn the mother down.
if I were me, I'd be like, no, I'm out.
She's
like,
throwing
this is
chairs,
ridiculous.
but she's pulling hair.
But oh God, what do you guys think I do in my spare time?
Even though like this is your baby, you've been working on it for years.
You just gonna shake your
Because
partner.
honestly, I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it, but I don't know
Right.
what I would have done, because I can't put myself in that situation to feel what she was feeling emotionally.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's
Yeah.
like, me personally, maybe not. But if I was like legitimately in Izzy's shoes, just knowing the kind of person that she is, I can see why she did it. I know when I was watching it, I was screaming like, "No, don't do it, girl, don't do it!" Ugh. Like I wanted to just like shake her and be like, "Hey, like think about this rationally. Like you're surrounded by a lot of people telling you what you want to hear. Like you need to look closer, because she's gonna find herself in a difficult situation, because the last time she accepted a whole chunk of money from somebody, look, you know what happened."
True.
So I was like, maybe you should be a little more careful this time. You know, I thought back to that scene she had with her dad when he was like, "Are you taking care of everything? It's okay." You know, like she was like, "Yeah, I got it under control." You know, when they were still working with that other rich person, I forget his name now. Benedict, right?
Blush or brush
Right.
or something like that.
So it's like, when I saw that scene, I'm like, Alex to me is already so shady. I don't know, like something didn't feel right about it to me. And that's why I really felt for her watching her cry. Because I'm like, are you crying because you're sad, or do you know you're like signing your life away right now?
Like,
right. And then here's another thing too, is like I did have a something didn't feel right about Alex, but something didn't really feel right about Vera. Like,
yeah,
from jump.
sus.
Like,
Sus.
dude,
Evil
all
woman.
day.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. And I don't know. For me, even though you didn't ask me, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump in.
What would
for
you
me, what would I do? What would Chaos J do? I am loyal to a fault. Like, to the point where sometimes it burns me. I'm so loyal. And so in that situation, it's a tough one. And again, I don't know, like I probably would have had to lose my cool. And I would have demanded, like, okay, you're going to give me some time. Like, we wouldn't even be at this table if it wasn't for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm the one that rushed you in the parking lot, homie. Like, you're going to give me some time, or I'm going to burn this mother down.
Yeah.
Like, I will let them know. Like, and I know that's a little bit dramatic, but you're asking me to shake my two partners who pretty much helped me get us to this table right now to talk to you, and you're asking me to just cut them loose. Like, I can't just do it. I can't turn that on and off like that. Like, my loyalty doesn't go like that.
Right.
So for me, like, no, we're gonna have something going on, or hey, you know what? let me go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. And I'm calling,
bathroom
get
check.
here right now. It's about to go down. And
Right.
then we're gonna handle this, and you're gonna tell everybody why they don't need to be a part of the GenCoin anymore. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and pass the ball back to you.
Thank you.
That's what I would do.
Thank you. And for anybody listening and watching, if anybody has you sign a contract right away and does not give you time,
Please read it. If they don't give you
Don't sign
time,
it.
don't
No, just
sign
don't
it.
sign it.
right?
Like,
exactly what you just said. Don't sign it, and if they don't let you look it over with a lawyer, you know something is fishy. So
yeah. Speaking of that, I thought now that you bring that up, I thought it was interesting that was the first time I think I saw Izzy like be complicit to something without a fight. Like she
fought
asked
a
for more
little.
time,
She
but
fought a
like
little.
yeah, but like not the way that she fought for him to listen to her in the first place. Like the
Okay.
way she came at him in the parking lot, the way she put her foot down about everything that she felt so strongly about. I think it was like such a vulnerable moment for her character because like all that fight and that bark was gone. She was just a vulnerable person who was like at the cusp of having her dream fulfilled, and
Right.
she just, made
Yeah, it's
that
like
decision.
the final roadblock.
Because I'm
So-
like, the real Izzy would be like, nah, this is my thing, blah blah blah, like how she normally is, and she just wasn't.
right.
all right. So now on the flip side, they have to tell Ronald and Nick the news as well.
It's cringeworthy.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Ronald didn't really
Right?
blow up. Nick actually had a more explosive reaction.
Yeah, he did. Ronald was actually real cool about it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I feel like Ronald knew like this is not it.
Yeah.
Like this is not
There's more to
This
say.
not his first rodeo.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we go. I got something going. I'm gonna figure something out. Like if there's a will, there's a way. Like he's real cool with things. And I was gonna jump ahead, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop.
All right. So now I'll ask you this question: if you were Ronald or Nick, what would you do? You go first, Chaos.
I would have, it would have been a 50-50. Okay. I would have reacted like Ronald. Ronald was cool. He maintained his composure. But as things started to sink in, and then as he keeps coming back, well, I bought the building. And then I'm reading and it's like, what? I'm only getting 12? Like, and then I would have reacted like Nick.
Okay.
So it would have been 50-50. I would have started off cool. Like, okay, like you mother suckers is trying to cut me out of my company. Okay, all right, let's see what we got here. What's this paperwork? What? And then
Slam it off the table.
and then I'm flipping chairs like Teresa from Housewives.
Nice.
I'm knocking coffee cups over. I'm pointing in your face. I'm doing all of this.
Oh my.
Wilding.
Honestly, I probably would have reacted just like they did.
Yeah.
I feel like it was very true to their characters. And I know personally I can be like that when I'm really mad. I'll probably be like Ronald and just be kind of quiet, like, okay, that's what you're trying to do right now? All right.
got you.
Revenge is best served cold. So
It is.
I would have probably marinated on
Frozen.
that a bit. First. What would you have done?
I think I would have been like Nick. I would have been I would have flipped out.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely flipped out.
That's totally valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't present me with that information after all that I've been through and expect me to just be like,
And the way they did it,
Right.
like,
Oh, they were so cold.
he's like,
Yeah.
she already signed. Like that moment, I was like, ooh, that burned. Because to know that, like, they really didn't have a say in the matter anyway.
yeah. And I don't have the life experiences that I think Ronald's experiences in life made him cool under pressure in that situation because he's been
Yeah.
through so much to the point where this meeting and him getting cut out of a deal is nothing. You know what I mean? Whereas Nick, like this, I think it hit him harder and he didn't know how to handle himself. And I think that's how I would have acted too.
I think also
honest.
at that point, like Ronald had already went through so much between
Yeah.
being barbed wired down and everything he had to do. I think he was probably just like mentally
all right,
exhausted.
Here's
just like,
another hurdle. Like,
great.
Right. Okay.
No big deal. And so we'll keep it going. During that meeting, they tell Izzy that they're going to introduce her to the world and to, wear something nice.
Make her the face of GenCoin.
She
make her the-
cleaned up.
Yes, she
Good
did.
Lord.
Well,
Not
shout
that
out
she,
to you, Adamara.
Hey,
Bada
OT
bada,
all
hey.
day. But yeah, no, not that she
Okay.
even needed
Just-
to, but good God almighty.
Yeah, we don't gotta really say it.
Wow.
We'll just,
Yeah. If you haven't watched, I'm going to need you to watch.
you have to.
Like now. Like if you staying up late, crackle it up.
Crackle, crackle, crackle. And so I found this weird. When she arrived at the party, Alex grabbed her hand and he was walking through the party holding her hand as almost like they were an item. Obviously, nothing happened with that, but that was just an observation. And the whole scene.
Know what to do with that anyway.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. The first half of the party seemed like she was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
With all these questions and the idea of her being the face. So she goes, takes a minute, and Alex approaches her like, "You okay?" She lets him have it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
She did. She bruised that ego.
Yeah, she did. And then she goes back to the party, and she starts saying, "You know what? Ronald Dacey and Nick Tallman, they're the reasons why GenCoin is what it is and where we are today." I thought that was awesome.
That was the best.
It was so money. And I was disappointed that they didn't show us the aftermath of that. Because, all those stories hit the press and they were ready to roll.
But did they?
Right,
I
but
feel
we
like
never
maybe
saw.
they didn't. Yeah.
I assume they didn't when we didn't get a scene like that, because I was waiting for that too.
Yeah.
But see, I also felt like they didn't necessarily, because I saw when she finally walked out and they looked like, oh man, like she was on fire. I don't think, at least for me, I didn't think that they knew what she did.
Right.
What seed she had planted. So that's why I was still anticipating a scene where we got to see, the fallout of her, throwing those names around and then, oh wait, they're not even with GenCoin anymore. What happened? So I'm hoping that we'll get to see some more of that. But then again, there's a lot that
Yeah, it's
it's
kind of
still up in the air.
Yeah, it was kind of weird how they just forgot about that.
Right.
Or didn't explain what happened, at
Right.
least. You could at least have said that, because of XYZ, it didn't hit the presses.
Right.
That pretty much ends that scene. They go to a scene with Nick arguing with his ex-girlfriend.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Christine.
We need some tea,
your,
but let's
your
talk
general
about
reaction. As a woman.
As a woman. It's kind of weird.
Did you feel where she was coming from?
I did, because I've actually had that argument before with
Oh.
someone.
Oh.
Maybe not to the extent, like, you embezzled money and you lied. Like, I don't,
Whoever
I
that
haven't
is,
dated
I
anyone
hope
like
you're
that.
watching now.
But I have checked somebody before on coming to terms with who they are. And I thought that was actually, like, a really important scene for Nick's character, in my opinion, because I feel like, we've seen so much of Ronald and his world and how that's changed. And I feel like we explored other characters, and I was kind of like forgetting about Nick a little bit, at least me personally. And then to see him have that real moment of like trying so hard to get her back and then realizing halfway through that like he doesn't even really want to be the person that she wants to have back.
Right.
And it's just not worth it. And
Exactly.
I thought that was actually great. I'm like, now you know who you are, or you're at least going to stop lying to yourself and maybe just embrace what you're doing. Like, and if this girl's not for you, then she's not for you. Yeah, just move on. I mean, there is someone way hotter in your radar.
Right?
Like, come on.
Right?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've been an advocate for that from day one, that those two needed to just explore that chemistry. Like, come on. I mean, it's like a 6, 7, and a 10. Like,
Oh, damn.
Bam.
Shots fired, though.
You heard it here first.
That bad-looking girl, I'm sorry.
7?
Izzy 10.
Compared to
all
Izzy?
day. Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, Izzy brings Izzy brings a lot more to the table, personality wise at least.
Oh, let's not get
if
too shady.
nothing else, and character wise, than Taylor. For me, yeah, it was a great conversation. It was something that needed to be had. And I like where he said, yeah, that when she was like, yeah, you're not the person, that I fell in love with. And he was like, yeah, I hate that person's guts. I was like, yeah, son, what? Because I feel that. I get it. I relate. And I'm just like, and then I don't feel like she truly understood. So that probably was he was partially to blame, because maybe he didn't really explain to her.
Yeah.
But it was like, you need to step outside your bubble and realize that everything isn't rainbows and puppies and cupcakes. And there are some bad and greedy elements to getting things done. And I don't think that she really understood that, because had she understood that, then she would have understood that, okay, really, he took a negative and turned it into a positive. GenCoin,
Okay.
and what GenCoin was going to represent for everybody on different classes and different levels and environments and worlds and whatever, and cities and blah, blah, blah. represented so much more than where that dirty money came from.
But, sorry to jump in, I think what the key element here was that Nick wasn't really honest with her or himself from jump.
And he committed a federal crime.
Yeah, well, yeah, he committed a federal crime. I think any logical person would have the reaction that she did initially, but I think had he, like, you know, or maybe had they had that kind of relationship before this happened where they could talk to each other about those kind of things and maybe had kept her in the loop, at least if she was informed, she could have made a better decision about whether or not she wanted to stay with him. It's like you're with somebody and then you find out after they're not who you thought they were. I mean,
but at the same time, again,
I think that's what
is it
made
really
her
a
not
matter of
as
him
into
not
getting
being
into
who
GenCoin.
she thought he was, or was it just a matter of I can't believe you did X, Y, and Z?
I think that's what it is.
Because and I get that it's like wow, like you did that, but it's like you know what? Let's talk about it. Because I can't stand that whole don't touch me, oh my god, oh my goodness,
stop.
I can't even believe, I can't even be in the same room with you. Who are you? That whole thing.
That was Bay.
Kill it.
And Bay was just like,
no, kill it. I'm the same dude that we was just getting busy a couple days ago. Like I'm gonna need you to stop. You know it's me. Now, you may not agree with what I've done, but let's talk about it, and I'll break it down for you why I did what I did and why I did what I did to get what I needed to get to and the goals at the end of that road. But don't act like, oh, you're such a different person, like I'm an alien. You know who I am.
That's kind of how I felt, too. Like, I don't feel like Nick changed that much.
Nick was still Nick.
Yeah.
Nick dealt with he played the cards he was dealt, and he did it very well at the end of the day. But for her to act like you're just such a different person, I don't know who you are.
She just had a problem with what he did.
Right. And had Ronald not showed up at the crib and kind of low-key strong-armed you because of the money,
he painted it to be completely different. Like,
but she wouldn't have known.
You're hanging out with gangsters?
Yeah, that was hilarious when she said that. I was like,
have you killed anyone? Like, have you, like, what? Like, girl.
Did you hurt anyone?
Okay, but that's a valid question.
It is, because I'm sure
question.
had he said, yeah, I killed somebody,
he's
she
already
wouldn't have...
guilty of fraud. You know that his father's up to no good. On top of that, I guess Ronald is a gangster.
Okay, but...
you know what I mean?
But really? Really? Because, I mean, have you gone through his stuff and found some heat? Did you see a toaster in the drawer?
True.
With the socks? No, come on, man. Kill it. She was being so over dramatic, but you know what? I'm glad that it's over. Like, I just feel like that's a closed chapter.
Moved on to better things.
Sure is.
All right, so now the episode ends with Izzy going to GenCoin in the morning. She gets to the floor, and she's locked out.
Yeah.
There's a literal lock.
Literally. Like, they're like, this is the only person that comes in this way.
Yeah.
Lock that gate.
Crazy. And she just basically goes crazy, especially at the intern. What's her name? Megan? Was her name?
Megan.
Yeah.
She goes...
I'm sorry. Just please.
You didn't pay me.
Please, can you just...
You didn't pay me.
Just please
Yeah,
calm down.
that's when you
Just
saw
calm
the
down.
fire in Izzy that probably should have came out in that board meeting to shut it down, because she was like, no, like, you wouldn't be here without me.
Yes.
Like, that's kind of like where it cuts out after she's like screaming. That's what you can hear.
She probably felt that she had some authority over Megan, whereas with Alex and their crew, she probably felt like, well, they're above me. So
Well,
probably,
yeah, when she
there's
was
probably
saying
some
that, I
type
thought
of
she was just-
inferiority complex there.
Yeah. I thought she was just saying that in general, like screaming out in general, like none of you
Yeah.
would be here without me.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yes.
Definitely true.
It's her company. It's her code. It's everything.
That was savage the way they did her.
It was savage. And Alex just, I mean, so shady.
Called security, like that was such
Oh
a
my goodness. He was
move.
such
I
a
can't say the word.
He was, that was a bleep boy move. A bleep
Fill in the blanks.
boy
Well, you
move.
Fill in the blanks.
Fill it in. Shout out to you. I saw you retweet some of my stuff, Alex. I can't remember his name at the top or right off my tongue. But shout out to you. You did an excellent job. Because when anybody on TV or film makes me hate them to the point where I see them in the street, I want to punch them in the throat, that means you're doing your job. Because I know that's not you. I know you're probably cooler than the fan. But on the show, I want to chop you in the throat, bro.
Good job.
I'm just saying.
Good
so
job.
bravo, great acting. You're playing your character very well.
Everyone has been. It's been a great season.
Definitely. Everybody's
agree.
bringing their A game with this show.
I
Again,
agree.
if you're not watching, what are you doing right now? This is, I'm telling you, turn off your TV and get on your computer if you have to. I'm telling you, Crackle, Startup, you need to watch it.
What I didn't mention throughout the episode was Agent Rask and his storyline.
Oh, yes, please. Can we get into that?
Yeah, let's get into that.
Let's
he has a
do it.
meeting with his daughter. He's just...
And that's a soft spot.
He drives a lot.
He does.
Yeah, I interpreted it like he's doing like a farewell tour.
It was, though.
That's how I saw it, because I'm like, okay, you saw your ex-wife, you confessed,
right?
And you're trying to like go see your daughter, spend one last time.
He was even
like,
trying to get dude to give him
bro?
a passport, and he was like, look, I'm gonna get you on the back end, like just do this for me.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. I was like, oh, this is not gonna end well.
Now that you said, I think you're right. Like looking back on all the scenes, he went to the roof to look at Miami. Like, all right, my last time looking at Miami.
Yeah, because I mean, he has two options here. Like, you killed somebody. You're either gonna run or.
Well, and then let's not forget there was that phone call where they said, "Hey, we found her. We'd like to have you come in and talk.
Yeah, so he
ask
thinks
him
he's
some
on the
questions."
radar.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, so now episode 10, the season finale, opens up with basically Alex on TV. He's explaining GenCoin to, I guess, like a CNN type.
I still want to punch him in the face.
Damn you, Alex. And Nick is watching, and as he's watching, he gets an email, and it's an audio file, and it says, "Please open." We don't know what it is yet, but later on in the episode, we do find out, and we'll talk about that later. Izzy goes over the contract with a lawyer who's a family member, I guess?
I think that was like her uncle or like a family friend.
That's what I thought. He basically just like...
So why didn't you bring this to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that there was a powerful lesson to be learned right there. And this goes out to anybody watching. If you're going to get a car and it's like your first car, or maybe you've had a beater and now you're about to get some new hotness. You're about to get a new place. I mean, you're buying a house, whatever it is. We cannot stress enough. Read everything.
Yes.
And if there's language and terms that you don't understand, please consult with a lawyer, attorney, someone who is qualified to explain it to you in layman's terms. There is nothing worse than signing a binding legal document that you cannot undo. And then you like, well, I didn't know. Please read the fine print. There's so many times where we're just so anxious and excited to get whatever it is at the end of that piece of paper. Like, oh, I'm gonna get this phone. I just gotta sign my firstborn and give you half my savings for the rest of my life. Oh, sign. Oh, I got that new iPhone 10. Okay, read everything, because sometimes you might actually read it and you're like, no, I'm just gonna sign it real quick, and you read real quick and you're like, you know what? I don't agree with that. So read everything. As we see, this child almost possibly could be, maybe lost her whole life's work because she didn't read the fine print. There's a reason why they teach you to read in school. Read.
Contractual Law 101 with startups.
Chaos J all day. Read.
The AFTERBUZZ TV Startup panel. Ronald meets Vera in Little Haiti, and it almost goes down.
Now,
you think it's going to go down.
Right. Now, let's jump back real quick. When they were in the club, when they're doing the celebration, Ronnie told Nick, he said, yo, like, there's something not right.
Yeah.
She's real chummy with the Russians.
Yep.
And Nick was like, oh, what are you tripping? You're being too serious. Let's just get it in. Turn up.
He knew. Ronald knew. Christine, what'd you think of that scene?
Oh, that scene was really tense.
Yeah.
It was.
I just seeing how Ronald's been acting though. I felt like it was gonna pop off, but I knew it wouldn't, because I knew he was smarter than that. To have like a shootout within like 2 feet of somebody, like that's not gonna end well for you and your son in the back.
I felt like they outnumbered them.
Yeah.
But I also knew that there would be a lot of retaliation.
Oh, of course.
And the Russians would just storm Little Haiti had they had something popped off at that moment.
Why is Tui always in the background though? Like,
He is.
always. Like,
don't
every
know.
time there's like an important thing going on, he's just back there like...
But he's back there like passing judgment, and I'm just like, dude, you don't know.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I will say in that scene, it made me really, really hate Vera because it's like it's one
I've been
thing.
hated Vera.
No, I hated her too, but it's to me it was like it's one thing to cut somebody out of the company so savage like that, and then we're gonna give you an extra $150,000,
And then you show up short.
and then you show up without it. It's like such a slap in the face. Like,
It's like what? Like, and he should have slapped her in the face.
Pistol
And I don't advocate violence against women at all.
Yes,
but
not at
she
all.
deserved a slap because she slapped him figuratively by not bringing that extra 150.
Yeah,
we couldn't get that amount approved. What?
so annoying.
So either that or you know what? I take that back because I know somebody's gonna be like, I can't believe you said that. He shouldn't have slapped her.
There you
maybe
go.
just a light push onto the rocks, or maybe just a little foot sweep. So she had heels on, so she just she trips and scrapes her knee up a little bit. Now you can't wear dresses for a week or two.
Point is, he should have done something about it.
Something. I'm just saying.
But then he explains later to Tui that, sometimes you have to use your brain.
Sometimes you got to be the
On
bigger
that
person.
scene with the...
And sometimes you got, at the end of the day, and he didn't say this, but I'm gonna say it: knowledge. Sometimes you got to lose the battle to win the war.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
sure.
basically what he said to Tui.
Pretty much.
What's going on with Tui? Tui's always like...
Tui right now is super distraught. Like, he's
just
young. He never
he's
killed
like the
somebody
last
before.
piece of
But he's been
emotions.
acting like this all season.
I know.
He's conflicted though, bro. He's a
I
teenager,
get it,
man.
but it's
he
either,
got hormones
he's either
racing
in the
through his
background.
body.
He's either in the background, like looking. They should be memes. There should be
If
Tui face.
I need
startup
internet
memes with
right now.
with Tui in the background.
You guys,
of
you
everything.
guys do this so quickly. I'm gonna need the interwebs
of important
to come out with some memes from startup. Get it going.
important events with Tui in the background. Just
I'm
watching.
telling you,
Just being
with
like-
that Tui face, we need that cracking.
Yeah, but I feel like he's been acting like that all season. It's not. I understand he killed somebody. It's traumatic, but his character hasn't really changed. He's still the same. Like, man, what'd you say, Pop?
still a kid.
I get that, but I don't know. I feel like I wish his character would
Grow more.
develop a little more.
Yeah.
That's all.
But maybe, maybe we'll see that.
Yeah, maybe it'll
next
mature
season.
him.
I feel like he's still going through that. He's got a tug of war going on, and that tug of war just changed dynamically because of what he just had to do.
Right.
But I feel like there was that tug of war because he wants to do what his dad does. His dad doesn't want him to do what he does, but he wants to prove himself. But his dad's like, no, there's other ways to prove yourself. And then it's just, and then the hormones and Tui ain't got no thing. He ain't got no girlfriend. And
Right.
it's just a whole bunch of things just built up and whoa, it's
Right.
enough to make your head pop off.
Yep. Before that conversation, actually, let's go back a little bit because I skipped a scene, a very important scene
You did skip a
where
scene. Say what? Oh wait, no, did you?
so
Did
yes,
you skip a scene?
I did. Yeah.
This is
So
true.
Izzy
My
shows
favorite
up.
scene ever.
Izzy shows up to Nick, place to apologize.
In
And yeah.
her maid of honor dress,
Yeah. And yeah.
looking all kinds of delicious.
And things got physical.
Yes. Can I just say
yeah, they
that
did.
I called this?
Yeah.
You did.
From jump. I said
You
there's
did.
something there.
You did.
And I really want to see it get explored. So thank you to the writers for finally validating
Bam.
me.
More
at the
sex.
end. More sex.
sex.
They brought it full circle because we
They
started
did,
off
yeah.
with the sex, then it kind of dissipated. We got some crime, murder, drama, whatever. And then now we get back to the sex, and it was just so unbelievably hot
And passion.
and so
was.
passionate. I was like,
And I just
yes.
wondered how much stuff they broke sweeping stuff off the countertops, but that's me.
Anmar, I'm sorry for watching this. Like, we're like totally objectifying this situation, but
Well, it was very well.
it was crazy.
It was long overdue,
It
and
was.
I'm glad that
There you go.
I hope that this doesn't change their working relationship.
Working
I
relationship.
hope that it just hopefully it just brings them closer.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, it was nice to see that. I felt like she needs him, he needs her on that intimate level, in addition to the friendship level.
Yeah.
And I felt like they work well together in personal and business. They balance each other out.
Yes.
So I
She's
was
fire.
happy.
He's ice.
Yeah.
Yin yang.
Yin yang.
There's a
you know.
mutual respect there too. At least I felt. Well, at least I felt he really respected her at first.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, thumbs up.
We all like it.
You know,
I
my
think
heart
we're
hurt.
all
My heart hurt just a little bit, but you know, thumbs up.
All right.
You know,
So
it was good.
I had to
wanted
go over that because then they show up to the basketball court.
Together.
Yeah, and they
Post coitus.
and Ronald's like, "Yeah, what are you doing with her?" And he's like, "We have."
They got the glow.
We got a plan. We got a plan. We have a plan to get GenCoin back. Basically, we are GenCoin.
Yeah.
Let's get this back.
Yeah.
And that plan involved Agent Rask. And little did he know. Actually, he was on his way to kill himself.
Yes.
He was.
Yes.
That's what I said. It's a
He
farewell
was.
tour.
And when they made that phone call,
Right.
blah, threw up those pills,
Right.
which
So he basically tried to OD on pills, alcohol, laid down in his bed. It was gonna be it.
full suited up,
And left his phone on ring.
right?
If you're gonna kill yourself, silent.
That's what I said.
But at the
silent.
same
And he actually
time,
like looked and picked it
I
up.
don't feel like like when you do things like that, there's a sense of finality when you know, like, you know what, I can't do it anymore. Like, there's just no end in sight. I'm taking my life.
Right.
I feel like those loose ends you tie up.
Yes.
You put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Or you,
Maybe he
You know
wasn't
what I'm
fully
saying?
committed
You turn
to
the
it.
TV off.
right.
You know, like you do all those things. I don't think he was really 100% committed.
Right.
So I felt like there was almost anything was going to get him to not go through with it and not go to sleep. So I'm glad that phone call was what it was.
Right. So it turns out that it was Nick or Izzy was one of them, and they end up meeting at a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And they basically blackmail him.
Pretty much.
Into helping them.
Yeah.
Pretty much. They turned
But
the
that
tables.
doesn't really go so well.
No,
not really. It doesn't. Not
really.
at all.
Yeah.
But then
So what
again,
they had?
Ken, we could have had
They
two.
had.
what?
They
what?
had.
I'm sorry to
Go
cut
ahead.
you off.
Go ahead.
Phil Rask, I still want to give him that gangsterness, that gangster title, but it's hard because Phil Rask he's not doing a good job at all at executing anything. Like
He's messing everything up.
you can't blackmail right.
Yeah.
You can't bully right.
You can't even kill yourself, right?
You can't even kill yourself right. Okay.
No, you're right.
So go ahead.
But they show him a taping, which I guess is the
Day one.
MP3. You're right, but it's the
I
MP3
think
that Nick
Day
got.
One did it.
It's the MP3 that Nick got in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. That email.
Right. And it's just basically the conversation he had with Day One.
Now, you gotta wonder, and I know we're gonna find out probably next season, what prompted Daewon to even send that?
Well, didn't Izzy say she hacked him? She hacked.
She did.
No, she hacked Alex. I'm sorry.
She hacked
Sorry.
Alex.
Yes, right.
She hacked Alex. So what made him say, you know what? Because he's already gotten away with the money at this point.
Right.
And he's Ghost.
That's true. Why would you contact?
I don't know. That was a little gift to them. It really came in the most clutch time ever to use his leverage. So I guess later we'll find out.
Yeah, hopefully we will.
Maybe next
I mean,
season.
I hope so too, because that's a big plot hole.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so they're at the table. They're blackmailing him. They put the tape on. He's like, what now?
And now the trio becomes a quattro.
Say what?
Hey.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, we need a name for these guys. If anyone listening or watching has a name for these guys,
Tweet us, DM us.
I don't want it to be like a GenCoin team.
Comment on the
You have
video.
from now till
just
season
something.
2 to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So send us anything. Something. So basically he decides, all right, I have no other choice. I gotta do this. Drives to I guess Alex's place where Alex is having a meeting about launching the site. Pulls Alex aside and he blackmails him
Yeah.
Pretty much.
and robs him.
Pretty much. Now, there was an interesting part where he's pulling out the money. And actually before, let's jump back.
Okay.
Remember, there's a scene where he's sitting there and Vera's reassuring him that what they did was right.
Oh, to Alex.
Right. She's reassuring
Right, Alex
Alex.
feels
You gotta
bad.
call out who it
Right,
is
he
so we can
feels
follow.
bad. I'm sorry.
And this-
Vera is trying to reassure him. She massages his shoulders a little bit, which
Yeah.
kind of. And then I kind of wonder, like, did they have a little thing going? Although I don't know, like I feel like she's so much more of a stronger, dominant personality than him. Like I just don't really see him doing it for her, so I kind of dismissed that real quick. But obviously they work well together for whatever business. But I also feel like there's with her and her ties to the Russians, because she's probably Russian too, I feel like there's they've got something over him. They've got
Yes.
something over him because
I agree.
when he's giving them the money, there was that moment when he said, "Help me," something or another.
Yeah.
Like, and granted, it could have just been a ploy, but at the same time, I felt like in that moment, he was very vulnerable and he was very sincere, and he wanted to get out from under their finger, out from under their thumb,
and I don't think Rask is going to forget that.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Well, is he going to be alive?
I was just going to ask you that question.
The way they kind of cut to it later, it's like, I don't see him being in season 2.
My thing when Rask got kidnapped is like, the guy followed you outside. You knew he was outside. Why didn't you just...
Well, see, and that's
the weirdest
that's
walk
when
down
you
the
gotta pay
driveway to
attention,
me.
and you gotta always have your peripherals going. Always. Your radar should always be on
Did
people.
he not see him, or you just ignored the fact
Pay
that he was
attention
out?
to your surroundings.
And you're an FBI agent.
And I saw him come out, and I was like, that dude's about to follow him.
Right.
I don't know. I think he was honestly, because like when he put the bag inside of the trunk, he was just like, maybe it was like a sigh of relief. Maybe he was just so tense and like maybe not as confident he was portraying himself to be in that moment, and then like got blindsided, you know? Because I mean, it was very cliche. The close the thing and then just bang, you know.
Well, then too, and it's just like, okay, like I actually have this money, as opposed to it being digital and it's on a thumb drive and I gotta have it moved to this account and that account. No, like I literally have this money. Like I can put this under my bed tonight.
Right.
And it's going to be there in the morning. So yeah, he was definitely thrown for a loop.
Every time he comes close to living that life he wants to live.
I
Guys,
promise.
we got 5 minutes left. I wanted to talk about the ending.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Okay, so Rask gets kidnapped. Where'd you get the money, says Vera. They cut to a scene, I guess it's different scenes. They have Ronald in his neighborhood, they have Izzy at her house, and they have Nick in his place. And long story short, a bullet goes through the head of Izzy's sister.
Did not see that
Nelly
one
goes through the
coming.
head of
There's a
Nelly.
lot of stuff where I'm like, oh, I know what's about to happen, and I'm spot on.
Oh, that was heartbreaking.
Did not see. It was.
Oh
it
my
was.
God.
Yeah.
It was literally the day
After.
the day after.
I think she was like getting ready to go
They
on their
were on
honeymoon.
honeymoon. Yeah, they
Oh.
talked about packing.
Yeah.
Now, was Izzy the target, or do you think...
No, I think
don't
that
think-
her sister was the
Her
target.
sister was the target.
Because if you see
They're
the
sending
way
message.
it came through the curtain too, was like that one like good sniper shot.
Yeah, it wasn't
It was
the
definitely
spray.
intentional. It was to hurt Izzy in a way that she could never recover from. Because
Mm-hmm.
to kill her would just be
Too easy.
it would be too easy. And like if something
be
goes wrong with the
suspicious.
code, they need her. Like I feel like they're gonna keep her
True.
around. They need to like get her in the way that it hurts the most, that she has no choice but to submit to them.
Well, yeah, and then by doing that, it's like, hey, like no one in your family is safe. So
Exactly.
if you don't comply.
Yes. We're gonna pick them off one by one until
much.
you like get in line.
Jeez.
Because they don't really need her business wise, but they need her logistically, like
Yeah.
for the code. So
That's true. That's true. And all while this is happening, they are having a funeral for JJ, and Ronald starts with a monologue that ends the episode. Mm-hmm. You know, like he ends it with, "This ain't America, this is Miami." I thought that was awesome. What did you guys think of the monologue or that scene in general?
That it was great. It was great. I like the fact that they did show that they still, even though obviously a lot of people were fed up with JJ and O, and then we didn't really see O, but I like the fact that they still paid their respects.
Yeah.
They still gave him a proper send off.
Thanks to Ronald.
Thanks to Ronald, right?
Yeah.
And again, that's because Team Ronnie all day, because Ronnie is he's going to do right.
Yes.
also Haitians don't do it like that. I'm just saying, we're gonna bury somebody right.
And they
cultural
wear all
thing.
white. That's a cultural thing too. Wearing all white to a funeral.
I guess.
I noticed that too.
Because you're
'cause usually
supposed
it's
to
all black.
technically, I've heard you're supposed to celebrate life.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to celebrate their life. So you
do
shouldn't
black
be
or
gloomy.
white.
Right. But you should be, so I felt like the white was like, we're going to celebrate, that person's life, and we're going to be joyous.
Okay.
And they're going off into the afterlife of whatever they're going to go off into.
Okay.
That's how I took it anyway.
All right, so before we get into predictions for season 2, any last... What did I forget?
Okay, no, go ahead.
Did I forget?
predictions.
If I forgot something, let me know.
No, you did, but I'm going to leave it for the predictions.
Okay.
Okay, before we get into predictions, though, general thoughts on season 1. Let's put a bow on it. Christine.
General thoughts, pleasantly surprised, I will say.
Yeah.
Somewhere around like episode 4 or 5, I was like, I don't know where this is gonna go. But then it really picked up steam towards the end, and I was really pleased. I fell in love with these characters. I wish that I could see more. It's like crazy to me that this is our last show. There's only 10 episodes, super
Yeah.
short season, but thought it was great. I'm really excited to see just do, like to do more with the storyline, because at this point I can already foresee some like circles that the writers might write themselves into, because I feel like there's only so much you can do with it. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and I was really, really happy to have Atmar on our show. Thank you again so much for coming. If you're watching right now, it was such a pleasure to have you. So yeah, I loved it.
Nice.
Okay. Phil Rask is not gonna die.
Okay.
They're not gonna get rid of him. Something's gonna happen. He's gonna get roughed up. Yeah, no. Right.
So wait, this is your
take a picture.
This is your prediction right
This is
now?
my prediction.
All right, so this is your prediction.
No, he's gonna get roughed up.
Oh, you get the.
Oh, I got that music. Hey. Yeah, he's not gonna die.
Dying. Okay.
He's gonna get roughed up a lot. I think this is when we will see his testicular fortitude, and he's gonna take that lashing. He's not just gonna give in. I feel like it's about to get hot, and I hope that everybody has their wits about them, because there was a scene where the Russians drop off the gun that was used to kill that was used to kill Izzy's sister in the trash can in the little Haiti neighborhood.
Coming back, yeah.
Because they're trying to frame somebody, or they're trying to frame it to be like that. And come on, you
Ooh,
got
I
to
didn't
be
think
smart.
about it that way.
Yes. You got to be smart. Come on, guys. You already know. And they already know who did it. They know where it came from. So that's not really going to jive. But when it comes to the police and the FBI, that's a whole different story. So yeah, it's going to get hot.
It's getting hot in Miami.
Christine, predictions?
Predictions for season 2. I see another hostile takeover of getting GenCoin back. What I am curious to see, though, is the show outside of this bubble that they've been living in. Mm-hmm. We were talking about it briefly before our show started, that you never really get to see, like we were talking about, we didn't get to see the press's reaction to what Izzy said. Aside from that news story where Alex was talking about the launch of GenCoin, you never really get to see what it means to the outside world besides these people. So my prediction for season 2 is just seeing GenCoin develop on a larger scale.
Okay.
And what that means for these characters.
Okay. My prediction is that now that there's 4, I think there's going to be 5. And I think that 5th person is going to be Alex, because I think he's desperately trying to get out of the situation that he's in, and he's going to find confidants in Phil and in Izzy and in Nick and in Ronald, and I think they're going to take on the Russians together and that whole corporate conglomerate.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
We'll see.
All right.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, if you watched all of our after shows, if you listened to all of our after shows, we thank you. It's been real.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
We'll be back for season 2. Leave your thoughts, your comments, thumbs up on YouTube, 5 stars on iTunes, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next season. I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. Tweet me anything. Let's do it.
Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Christine Bean with 3 E's. I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't be a stranger until season 2.
You can find me on Twitter, KaosJ, KAAOSJ. You can find me on Instagram, Chaos_Oceans31. You already know I'm wavy, so make sure you holler at me, hit me on my DMs, send me a tweet, talk to me, leave us 5 stars on iTunes, put us in your podcast.
Yes.
Holler at us.
And watch
Talk
Start
to us.
Up.
Yes.
And if you have not already, please, for the love of whoever, watch Start Up on Crackle.
Show your friends.
It is the best thing
Show your
cracking.
friends. See you guys for season 2. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Take care.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.